Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite Dark Sorcerer here. And today I'm going to do a Cartomancy reading for you. For those of you tuning in that don't know what Cartomancy is, it is the ancient form of tarot card reading. Cartomancy goes all the way back to the 11th century. It did not start with White or Crowley or anyone else that we know of today. It started way back in the 11th century. Okay? Check it out for yourself. Cartomancy. It is a form of divination by deck of cards. Okay? So, and I do apologize for being late on this. I was planning originally to do this around 1 o'clock p.m. today. Unfortunately, I lost track of time and had my face stuck in a book. I was heavily into research mode today and ran a few errands as well, and so here I am. So, anyways, let's see what the cards and the gods have to say for you. All right. Let's bring this up just a little bit here. And I do apologize for the sun. It's been very bright all day. This is why I like nocturnal, because you can actually see what you're doing. All right. First card, the Devil. Second card, Five of Knives. Third card, Daughter of Skulls. Seven of Skulls is the fourth card. Fifth card is Six of Knives, and the last card is Seven of Scepters. Okay? Now I'm going to show these to you. Okay? Now, all of the cards are in light aspect except for two. The Seven of Skulls and the Six of Knives. Now, I find this interesting because of the fact that you don't just have demons, but you also have the devil involved here. You've got witchcraft of meditation and contemplation being brought into it. You got celebrations being brought into it. A rite. Now, the devil card is one that teaches you about responsibility, about the gratification of the self and the needs of the individual. Jennifer O'Neill, welcome. But in this case, you're dealing with a very interesting feature here because of the fact that you're dealing with Mercury. If you notice on the chest, let me see if I can get this kind of right there, right here, just for you to notice. There you go. I think I brought that into line there. This card tells you that it's made of iron. It's the willingness to do what is necessary for you during this time. But you're also desiring something. You're looking at something that you want. Now, in this, obviously, you got the demon looking over the woman, okay, the girl, watching her sleep. It's not just the circle with the plus going down, which is Venus, by the way, the female, okay, male, female, okay, and alchemy. But you're also looking at things from outside of yourself, the perception. In this case, it is the necromantic works. You got the Ripper's knife or the sheath, the limb from the femur down to the foot, the abandoned property, the flower bed, the life and death aspects. The contemplation and the need for focus and discipline. Something that needs to be thought of more. The fact that you are thinking about it, you are contemplating on it, which is also a good thing. Jupiter, sign of Jupiter on the tree. The protection, the circle with a crescent moon on top of it, on the tombstone that she is hugging. The poison apples or the dead apples around it. Or the last life giving, the last ditch effort, if you wish. The other symbol of Mercury on the sword, the dagger, very bottom. The nobleman, the pure of heart, equivalent of being associated with nature. Confidence. Mars, the masculinity, the religious faction. Notice down here at the base, right there. Mars, the masculine symbol. And then you have the religious aspects with the cross. Ironic that you have all this playing in, because it shows that there's a lot of changes going on. Hey, Shelly333. It's good seeing you again, Shelly. So you're seeing a lot of changes going on here. The fact that you've got a lot of desire, a lot of things that you're looking to do, things that are tempting you. Areda Calandri, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. I think it's the first time you've been on here. No, this is the second time I've seen you on here. Welcome back. All right, so anyways, the Devil card really gets down into and delves into desire, delves into your wants and your needs, the things that you really want to have through gratification. More so, it is about responsibility and celebrating. Okay, so there are things that you're celebrating, small victories perhaps, but yet there are things that you're still desiring, things that you really are having a hard time achieving. Okay, you feel like you're being watched over a lot. Really delving into that, how should I say this? The type of, think of it from a career point of view. We all have jobs and take jobs that we really don't like, the things that we really dislike to do, but it's a way to pay the bills, right? Well, think of the five of knives as that physical encounter. Okay, it's draining you of that life force, and it feels in some cases like it's like you're being slowly strangled. It's like you got death all around you, but yet you've got this small shred of life. And this card actually goes along with the Seven of Skulls, which I'll get into in just a few minutes. Now, like I said, these changes are things that you've been gradually going back and forth on, things that you've taken the strides to actually achieving. And then there's others that you're kind of just sacrificing, just putting on that back burner. The Daughter of Skulls is really about that focus, that determination, that contemplation. When we think chiromancy, especially from, say, Francis Barrett's perception of necromancy, is that of conjuration. When we're using invocation or evocation to bring forth a spirit, it is for divining purposes. Meditation doesn't just harmonize you physically. It doesn't just bring you into that state of balance, that state of harmony. It also brings about clarity of thought. You're able to visualize calmly and reflectively on the topics and the issues laid out in front of you. Okay? And it doesn't really stick to one aspect. It could be family life. It could be work related. It could be dealing with your day-to-day bills. Okay? For an example, let's say for an example, you have an emergency surgery. You have your gallbladder taken out because it was so inflamed it could have ruptured and killed you. You're off work for a month and a half before you're even allowed to return back to work. Meanwhile, all this financial stuff gets put on your significant other. Okay? This is a burden. it's also a hassle. It's an unavoidable hassle. It's something that, how should I say this? Shit happens. Okay? Shit happens. It's the way it is. A lot of things come at you that's out of your control, but there are things that are in your control that you're fighting to achieve. In this case, look at something that just came out of nowhere. Okay? That kind of just set you back. So you've paid all your bills. You're keeping the food on the table. You're keeping your a roof over your head. You're keeping the gas tank full so you can get to and from work. You know, but you let some stuff slide, like say car insurance, because you can't really pay it because you only have so much, right? Well, in this case, look at it like this. The topic at hand, both of you may now be at work. So it's a matter of playing catch up. How do you catch up to all these bills that you have not paid, like medical bills, or say, for an example, school bills, insurance for your cars? Maybe you're dealing with banks and issues there. You see what I mean? There's stuff that you have to contemplate on daily. Okay? Just daily. Meditation. When this card comes up, the Daughter of Skulls, number one, you've got that authority. Okay? The privileged life, especially since it's in light aspect. You got that clarity, that focus, that determination. You're relaxed enough that you're able to sit there and visualize things unfolding. It's like an experienced soldier that can go to a battlefield before the battle is even fought and see how it unfolds. Look at General Buford, for an example, in the Civil War. This was a cavalry colonel, okay? He was a colonel in the cavalry. He had like 25 years of experience. He fought in a couple of different wars. He was an experienced soldier, so when he shows up at this battlefield, he sees everything as it's going to unfold. They're going to come in. You're going to fight. This is what's going to happen. And it's like you could see a long, bloody trail going up that hill. Well, guess what? This is how powerful your sight is, especially when you have that clarity. Serpent Descendant. Can't speak today. Serpent and Dice Controller 187. Welcome. So, anyways, you're seeing that clarity. You're seeing it with such potency. So this is not the issue because you're actually focusing on the topics. You're trying to figure it out and trying to find that pathway through that proverbial minefield. The issue is right here. This is the main issue. Seven of Skulls. Jupiter. Number one, it's a gas giant. But it's a lack of shielding. It's that lack of power. Maybe it's that momentum that you haven't built up yet. Or perhaps it's how many things that are set against you. That seems like it's overwhelming odds. Do you remember that movie, We Were Soldiers, starring Mel Gibson, Madeline Stowe? Here we have a guy plays a general in Vietnam, the first major engagement, the conflict. 300 set against 4,000. 4,000, and yet he was victorious. Why? Because he was able to adapt. Right here, you need to adapt. Right now, shadow aspect. Okay? Light, shadow. Shadow aspect really is the polar opposite. In light, everything is prosperous, everything is going good. But in shadow aspect, which is what this card is, it's not going that good because you're over contemplating, you're over observing it, you're overthinking it. You're too close to that proverbial picture. Okay? When you look at a picture, especially what's going on in your life right now, think of it as a temporary setback. You got to take that step back and observe it. Kind of just look at it from all angles. Could be the loss of a job, could be the lack of income coming in, something that's preventing you from moving forward. It could be that research mode where you're trying to look up something and you can't find it. In this case, look for that one pebble, that one step. Starts with one stone, one footstep to find that next step. And when we get into the Six of Knives, and we're dealing with the Raven. The Raven is a being of wisdom, knowledge. The soul takers, they are the ones that bring souls to and from the dimensions. The knife is a physical affliction. The confidence in the eyes, knowing what you're capable of doing. Looking at the planetary alignments and why they're so important to pay attention to. In this case, notice that is the beginning of a disappearance. You look at Seven of Skulls, Jupiter, the one planet just before the darkness. When you look at Aquarius, Aquarius is always associated with destruction, devastation, the bringing of disharmony, political upheaval, disease, storms, chaos. This is the bringing of the tide. The wisdom shows that before the downfall, it gets darker before the dawn. But you have to have faith, commitment, dedication, the anger to go forth. The Seven of Scepters is that fury moment, that breaking moment of Mars, the masculine energy. You notice everything happens to be masculine in this reading. What's ironic here is that Mars is a warrior planet. It is passion, desire. It's a color red, cardinal. It is the Aries, the ram's head. The red cross. Ironic, really. Because when you look at the devil card, these two cards go hand in hand here. They go hand and hand. The faith in what you do and what you're capable of doing. The fury to rain hell upon your enemies to achieve your goals. You have the wisdom, the knowledge, the know-how. But you got to apply it. You got to apply it to your life. This is only a temporary setback, ladies and gentlemen. It's nothing personal. It's nothing permanent. You have a lot of things going for you in this reading. More so, you just got that one rotted fruit, that one thing that's preventing you from moving forward. So how do you get around it? How do you take that first stride, that first step? It's the hardest to do, that first step. So knowing that you're contemplating on the topics, the issues that you're facing, that it's like big brother or big sister is slowly strangling you. You have the knowledge, you have the wisdom. So how do you apply it to move forward? That's what you got to figure out. Knowing your trade, knowing what you're about, knowing who you are and what you desire. That is where it begins. It begins with you. Long before it deals with someone else. You have to change inside before you can change outside. This reading shows a journey. It shows the contemplation of the path, the journey so far. But it shows that one pebble that's literally keeping you from achieving it. How do you get around that pebble? You pick it up, toss it in a pond, create ripples? Or do you walk around it? Do you go through it? The easiest way is not always direct. Prudence, caution. That is what a white lighter would tell you to do. I'm not a white lighter. I'll tell you to use whatever you have at your disposal to gain the upper hand. You have the tools of a magician, a dark sorcerer, or sorceress at your disposal. Utilize what you know. Go into the astral. Weaken it. so that you can weaken it here in the physical. Make the changes. Remove the obstacles. Do what you got to do to achieve victory. Welcome to Dark Sorcery, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who came in, Miss B, Controller, Arata, Julia, let's see, Shelly, Serpent, Miss B, thanks for joining me. I hope this helps you get past this blockage and achieve your goals. Until next time.